We're here at SMM 2016. I'm Joe Keefe, the editor of MarineNews magazine and Maritime Logistics Professional magazine. We're here with Nicholas Queru of Navico. He is the Executive Vice President and Managing Director of the Commercial Marine Division. Welcome, Nicholas.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. So why don't we get right down to the questions. I want to talk a little bit about the Halo radar today. It was launched just this past year, and it's been installed on some North American workboats. So I'd like to know what the feedback from the boat crews is, but also I want to talk a little bit about safety, because this radar has some special features, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So it took Navico about 4 years to basically launch Halo radar in the market. It's revolutionary new technology. It's without magnetron radar, which is the most common radar technology, which means that radar doesn't consume any power. It's extremely low power, which makes it extremely safe for a crew on board a small vessel in particular to operate, work while the radar is turning without receiving any radiation. I often compare Halo radar as a device which is more even friendly than your own mobile phone. So it's literally no danger for life. The extra benefit of that radar is being without magnetron. It's extremely cheap to service, because normally magnetron radar you need to change the magnetron once in a while. In this one, it's not happening at all. So the cost of ownership of Halo is significantly cheaper than magnetron radar. And of course, I mentioned or forgot to mention maybe the most important: the performance of the radar is excellent. And you measure radar performance by detection, ability to detect target, and the separation of the target. And the separation of the target of Halo is extremely good compared to most of the radars in the market, just because of the technology, the way it's been designed.
Okay, very good. So we've got safety and also reduced ownership costs with the lack of having to deal with the magnetron. So there's economy of scale there as well. Now you've introduced the R3016 IMO type approved radar earlier this year as well. What's significant about that, and what markets are you going to sell this radar into?
Let me also, before that, say that you struggled a little bit on the name of the radar. No, the name is correct, but there is a logic behind the naming of those products. So R stands for radar.
Okay.
3016 means 3000 series, and 16 means 16-inch display.
Okay.
So there's actually some logic into the naming of the radar today and all our products. That's something a little bit new from the past. That radar is an IMO compliant Category 3 radar, which means it's suitable for any boat which is IMO compliant or IMO mandated, within 500 gross tons. Typically, passenger craft, tugboats operating in areas that are mandated by IMO, pilot boats, crew boats. This is typically the type of boat that we're thinking about. So boats where you need a very high performance radar, safe, following IMO requirements for safety purpose, but also space saving for a bridge. You think of a bridge which is no more than 5-6 square meters. So a 16-inch flat panel display suits perfectly for that type of application.
Yeah, so small footprint, and that's very important on a workboat.
That's right.
So let's talk a little bit about Simrad's ECDIS solutions. They're unique. Let's talk a little bit about the IMO compliant Maris Mark V and the Mark 615.
Correct. So Navico today is probably one of the widest ECDIS range in the market. We have two types of ECDIS systems. We have one which is called the E5024, and then we have the Maris ECDIS, which has two versions that you mentioned, the MK5 and the MK15. The Maris ECDIS is really the best of breed ECDIS you can find in the market. It's really a high-end system, quite elaborate, and accumulating 15 years of experience, because Maris used to be a Norwegian company that we acquired, who started with ECDIS way before many other suppliers in the market, because they saw that electronic charts was coming in. Starting in Norway was a benefit, because Norwegian ship owners have always been very focused on safety, driven by their own customers. That's why they developed the ECDIS concept quite early on. The MK5 is a split version, so you have a display separated from a computer, a processor, which makes the system a bit more complicated to install but more reliable, because if one element fails or has a problem, the other one is still there, so it's easier to service. The other one, the MK15, is a flat panel computer, meaning it's a display with a computer on the back. Easy for retrofit solution in particular. And I'm not telling you anything new when saying that there's a big ECDIS implementation these days, requiring that many ships need to have at least one ECDIS on board for safety purpose. Deadline now has been extended to 2019, I think, for the very last VEG. And the MK15 is a very good solution for that because easy to install, bracket-mounted or flush-mounted computer and display together. It's unique because it's very high-end and a lot of features that many other ECDIS in the market do not offer. Another element of that is we supply ourselves digital services together with the ECDIS. So we have a tool which has been developed by Navico for acquiring charts, from UKHO or other hydrographic officers, that you can acquire them on the ship, dispatch with just push on the button to all ECDIS on board, and maintain those charts up to date without any risk of being outdated when navigating, because that's very important. Probably the last element is Maris, having been a pioneer in ECDIS, has also developed a very broad training concept. So we literally offer all possible training solutions for crew training, what we call type-specific training. From classroom training in a maritime academy to computer-based training online where you can, as a mariner, self-train yourself and get a certificate that proves that we as a manufacturer mandate that you have taken the training and are safe to operate our system.
And it's very important, wouldn't you agree, that people train on the same system that they're going to be using at sea, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. It's fundamental, actually. We also realize that the training part of the ECDIS implementation for a fleet is probably more costly even in the end, or more complex, to the actual hardware implementation, because you need your entire crew to be trained. I mean, everybody on the bridge have to be trained on the ECDIS. So we're talking, 15, 20, 25 people per vessel. And taking people into training rooms, taking them off the ship is very costly and complicated from a logistic point of view. So that's why those advanced training solutions are extremely good to save costs and save complexity for fleet owners.
Very good. The Seaside Electric Ferry, it's a very high-tech vessel. It features all of the main bridge equipment items, from the radar to the electronic chart display information, autopilot, compact gyro systems, DGPS, which are all Simrad branded solutions. Now, is this sort of system integration becoming more common? And if it is, does it save money for the buyer when the equipment comes in a bundled package?
Yeah, I mean, the answer is definitely yes. That vessel, by the way, is extremely innovative in many other ways. It's one of the first hybrid ships in Norway to be able to sightsee the fjords. And when they go close to the fjord, they operate on the electric engine. And when they navigate, they operate on the gas engine. So it's quite unique in that way. And yes, we're very proud of having been selected for the bridge solution. And the yard who build those kind of ships, they always ask for integrated system, because for them, as an installation, as integration purpose, it makes a lot of sense. It's easier to install, it's more safe. Systems together can talk to each other very well. The protocol is the same across. So that's a benefit for the installer. For the user, it's the same, right? You have the same user interface, it's the same environment. I like to refer to it as almost a brand agnostic environment where you literally navigate from the radar to the ECDIS without having to think twice of, okay, now I'm moving from one capacity to the other one. You recognize what you're using. So it's easier, it's safer, and in the end, I think it just increases the efficiency for both the fleet owner, the owner of the ship, and the captain who's monitoring the ship.
Very well. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming by this afternoon. I know you're busy at the show. You got one more day. When are you going home?
I'm going home tomorrow evening, back to Norway.
Okay. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Joe.